Here we go.
Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Network is on the air. Talking Golf is brought to you by American Transmission Company, ATC, helping you keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong. American Family Insurance, insure carefully and dream fearlessly. Oak Park Place, offering senior living options for the lifestyle you deserve, with amenities and services for a carefree, independent way of life. And by the Princeton Club, a premier health club that combines state-of-the-art equipment with a highly trained staff and convenient locations. Now, here are your co-hosts of Talking Golf, Dennis Tiziani and Paul Brown.
And we welcome you to Cherokee Country Club in Madison, along with Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown, and we're on another week of Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network. Well, we got a lot to talk about on this show tonight. Of course, Scott McCarron winning the American Family Insurance Championship over the weekend in Madison. Big crowds. Nate Procrast is going to be on the air with us. So is Mario Tiziani. Kind of an interesting story there. And Tiz, for the people that know you guys as a family, I thought Saturday on the range. Sunday on the range. I walk up to the range, come down the hill, and people I think will appreciate this that know the Tiziani family. I look to my right, there's Nikki and Steve warming up for the final round on Sunday. Well, that makes sense. I look, and your son Mario, he's working with Fred Couples. And I'm going, yeah, that's a little bit unusual. Then I look to the left, and I see you giving a lesson to Scott Verplank. And I'm standing there looking, going, what the hell is going on here? I mean, it just the scenario of seeing it, it was actually kind of funny.
Yeah, it is funny. And it is fun, really. I've known Scott for a long time. You know, he's a very good friend of Steve's, but I've known him a long time. But he was having some issues, and would I come down on the range? I hate that. I hate going down on the range just for that reason, you know. And so we talked a little bit at night, the night before, but then I went down there with him, and just a couple little things we helped him with. And geez, he shot 5 under. I made a mistake. I should have asked for a piece of his check, and I made that mistake. See?
Did you hear that, folks? I made a mistake. Can we keep that on the archives? It did look, though, after you talked to him for a while, I was watching his expression on his face.
Yeah.
And it changed. All of a sudden, he started to smile a little bit, and the trajectory of the ball changed, and also started hitting them.
It wasn't a lot. It was just a few things. But what you do with these people being these pro guys, you cannot have the answer. You can confirm what they suspect.
Yeah.
But you can't have an answer. They aren't going to let you do that. So knowing that, they give you a window. They open the window maybe an inch or so, ask you a couple of questions, you get your stuff in. But it's not about teaching. It's about being a resource. So, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, I remember that. Well, why don't we try doing it, you know? So,
we'll get into it a little bit later. But your son with Freddie Couples over the weekend, some people probably didn't realize. How'd that come about?
Well, Freddie was not going to play, or he couldn't play. He didn't have a caddy. His back was sore, found 50 different reasons. And when he talked to Steve, you know, I'd come, he said, is your son-in-law available? And of course, Steve says, yes, he is. I'll get right on it. So next thing you know, he's caddying for Freddie. He enjoyed it. You know, Freddie is just a class act to begin with. And I noticed that he was squatting to get the ball out of the hole to start with, the first couple holes. But towards the end, you know, then he was bending over normal. So I think he'll be back again, you know, and Mario had a good time. And it's a good contact. Fred knows a lot of people, and Mario in the business of agency, you know, it works out pretty good.
And in terms of the overall performance of American Family, the foundation, the volunteers, the players, everybody connected, there's very little to be critical about the success of that tournament.
Well, the customer was extremely happy. That'd be the people watching the event. They were happy. A little bit of a row with the bus situation, you know, we got to park, but you know, there was more people talking rather than knowing, because my question is, how was that? I mean, when you got picked up, where did they drop you off? Well, right in front of the shop, instead of down at the bottom of the hill and
where you had to walk up.
And you walk up. It was perfect. They ought to do that all the time. Just drive to the site, and then the people drive you to the bus. So that was the only negative. But that's a weather thing. We can't control that. But as a whole, every item, security was a big item. Because worried about that. But I'll give you a story here. So Steve is going to come to play on Saturday or Sunday. Anyway, he walks in, through the clubhouse like we do. He got the credential, and he gets stopped at the door.
He didn't have his credential.
She made him turn around, go back to the car and get it. Wait a while,
that's a good thing in a way, right?
Well, his answer would be not, well, what the hell's going on? Instead of that, it was, wow, am I ever glad that security has really picked up. So tells you about security, but also about him too.
And just for a couple of minutes, we want to mention Birdies to End Alzheimer's. Thank you very much to everybody that participated in the event. There were 899 birdies. That's the official count, 899 for those that participated. Invoices, I believe, from the foundation and the Alzheimer's Research Group have already gone out. You may have gotten yours in the mail today, about $57,000. They still have to calculate all the final dollars based on the amount of birdies because it was based on a projection of 1,000. And then there were other people that made a general donation that aren't in that total. But it looks like somewhere in the neighborhood of, let's say, 55,000 the first year, maybe a little higher than that.
A little bit less than we thought. However, now one could know what the multiplier is.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to give money, but I don't know what I should multiply my dollar by. 1,000, 1,200, I don't. But now we know it's $900, $899, $900. Person gives $1, that's what they'd be giving them. And we should hopefully they'll keep this open all the way to the end of the year.
Well, we'll find out officially.
But we're going to try to push for that to the end of the year. That way it's a tax deductible situation. But now you know what the multiplier is. So if you're given 2 bits, it's $250 or $200, something like that. So I hope we keep it open. We're going to push on it a little bit.
Thank you very much to everybody that did make a contribution to end that dreaded disease. Well, the guy that ran the tournament, Nate Pokrass, he's in charge, and he'll be with us after this time out on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
The American Family Championship features golf's living legends competing right here in Wisconsin. Take advantage of the Wild Rock American Family Championship package, which includes 18 holes with GPS cart at Wild Rock, with lunch and a Wild Rock hat.
Do the network
plus a ticket to the championship in Madison this June. Call or shout our website for availability, 608-253-4653 or wildrockgolf.com. That's wildrockgolf.com.
He dreams of playing in the big leagues, which is taking a toll on your dreams. Most people don't think about their home insurance until something happens. But talking to an American Family Insurance agent today can mean your dreams have better protection tomorrow. Visit amfam.com/home for a quote and see if your insurance measures up. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
At Oak Park Place, they understand there are some loves that last a lifetime, like the love of the game, and they celebrate those things that make you uniquely you. Their community of friends, family, and caring staff provide support if you need it, while you enjoy your independence when you want it. Because they know that sharing memories of time well spent is just that, time well spent. Learn more about senior living at an Oak Park Place near you. Visit oakparkplace.com.
What can you count on? There's that friend who always calls at the right time.
Hey, John.
A loyal companion,
No, I'm gonna call him
always
once
ready
the
to go.
local starts.
Here's something else you can count on. Electricity. Just flip a switch and your life powers up. At American Transmission Company, we help make sure electricity is there when you need it. That's what we do. Deliver economical, reliable power for your everyday life. American Transmission Company, helping to keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong.
The critics are raving. It's the hottest reservation in the city, and people wait months for a table. And now, it's finally time to take your seat behind the wheel of the 2018 E-Class at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. This is performance at its most tasteful. Refined power and Mercedes-Benz luxury with enough turbocharged torque to get you back in time for dessert. Visit MBUSA.com/E-Class to learn more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Wisconsin. High school sports teaching people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future.
All right, he's ready.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Wisconsin so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
W265 CB Madison.
And we're talking golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network from Cherokee Country Club in Madison, along with Dennis Tiziati. I'm Paul Brown, and it's nice to have with us now Nate Polkrass, who's in charge of the American Family Insurance Championship. Nate's been a busy man for not only all year, but especially the last couple of weeks. Nate, taking a look at it now, just a general observation, what's your reaction to the overall tournament this time around?
Yeah, I think as we look back over the last 7 days, we're beyond thrilled of how it all came together. Of course, we crowned a great champion yesterday afternoon in Scott McCarron, but throughout the week, from our Pro-Am to throughout the tournament aspect, Saturday, the celebrity group, just amazing how it all came together. Community, again, proudly supported it, 1,200 volunteers strong. We couldn't be more pleased, and truly a team effort throughout the weekend, and overall we're extremely happy.
Nate, in the future, and I'm sure you've got a plan on how you do this, but when you review the overall performance, what goes into that and how do you do it?
You know, everything is reviewed, all the way, from A to Z, from volunteer operations, parking operations, ticket operations, hospitality, sponsorship, concessions, everything, construction, timelines, our vendors, over 100. We work with over 100 vendors ultimately to pull this together, and every one of them is reviewed one by one. So it's a thorough process. We have a full team effort that's doing it. That's why it's ultimately a year-round process to put this event together. But we'll go through that. We're still tearing down. That'll take a couple weeks to tear down. And then our team will regroup and begin to evaluate. But even throughout the week, we were already planning for 2019, looking at things that we already saw that could be improved, adjusted, or concepts they wanted to explore. So even that was happening a lot during tournament week as it is.
I'm just curious, a couple of highlights on things you can improve. What may they be?
It's you can always get better. Bottom line, you can always get better, whether it's concession services. Overall, we felt our parking and our parking plan and shuttle program worked smoothly, but that always can get better. We know we can, get timelines and shuttle times and lines moving quickly. We can always look at that aspect. And same thing too, as we evaluate our hospitality options for our sponsors. There's always ideas on some different types of things we can do, or as we get feedback from those sponsors on way we can improve. So we can always get better. We know we've gotten better over the last 3 years. We've sure come a long way even since year one. But overall, everything, even we look at improving, the feedback we're hearing from our fans isn't necessarily, there's no negative aspect, but it's just, again, we feel we can always challenge ourselves to get that much better.
You took the thought right out of my mind there, Nate. What input does the crowd have, and what are they telling you overall, the fans, I mean?
Overall, what they're telling us is they're having fun. They feel there's a lot of entertainment for all ages, different variety of entertainment. Of course, the tournament competition itself was spectacular coming down the stretch. We went into Sunday with 20 guys. We felt ultimately had a chance to win it. But then when you add in other aspects, the celebrity group, the concert, things of that nature. It's just finding a lot of fun. They feel that the volunteers are welcoming, and they a lot of thank yous and appreciations for the fans coming out. Where they like that, ticket prices are reasonable, kids are free to come in. So that feedback is great to hear. At the same token, too, there's always suggestions of way we get better, and we gladly listen to it and take it into consideration and add it to our business plan.
Nate, a two-parter in relation to the players. I would assume their reaction has been very, very positive as well. You hear them talk about the entire field that's here. You hear them talk about the golf course. They enjoy playing it. The amenities overall for those guys is good and that kind of thing. And then, of course, they're aware that the bunkers are going to be rebuilt. So overall, this has to be a real positive from the player point of view, doesn't it?
It sure would indicate that as we see how strong the field was this year. And some of the new players, of course, Davis Love and Vijay Singh, who still play both tours, but to have them both here, I think what it's telling us is they like playing in front of crowds, and Wisconsin fans sure have proven that. They know our volunteers treat them well. We've got great amenities that we're providing to them that they enjoy, and we get many reactions saying it feels like a PGA Tour event. So that's all positive, and Steve continues to hear that, and as he gets feedback throughout the year as he sees them out on the road, Steve and Nikki are great to share that back with us. So here's what we're doing well. Here's some ideas that they think we can do to keep getting better. But as we touched on the course, it's getting better and better every year. Scott McCarron touched on that in his press conference, and we know some more renovations are coming down the pipeline at the course. So great to see, but at the same token, we can't take that for granted either and just put our feet up and relax either. We got to keep getting better and listening to the players to make sure they do want to keep coming back.
Nate, it might be interesting. Who's in charge of getting the players to come here? You take a look at what you guys accomplished. You had 27 of the top 30. You had the top 10 in the Charles Schwab Cup. You had people that have won a lot of tournaments and that kind of thing. How does that process work?
Yeah, I'd say it's a little bit different than the PGA Tour, where a PGA Tour, as I talk with those tournament directors, there tends to be a little bit more direct recruiting with the players and their agents. Just a lot more events, a lot more events for them to pick from. So to get the Jordan Spieths and the Rorys and those gentlemen to come to their tournaments, it takes a little more direct conversation. With the PGA Tour champions, they play every couple of weeks and they take a few weeks off. So the schedule is built that for these guys, if they want to compete, they want to get out and play, it means they need to play. So for a lot of the guys, it's just naturally the way the schedule builds, it works in all our favor. For the other ones, it's word of mouth. It's what they're hearing, what we're doing here in Madison. And I think some of it has to do with the direct respect they have for Steve and Nikki. I know Steve has acknowledged he's not necessarily directly asking them to come to our tournament, and that's okay. But they know their respect for him. He's been a President's Cup captain. They know anything he's going to be involved with should be a first-class event. So that natural byproduct of that information reaches them, and then in turn they do want to come to Madison.
Nate Polkras is our guest, and we appreciate the time. Nate, when you think about it, in your third year, they're already talking about this being the premier event on the Champions Tour. For you guys that are involved in it and have been involved since the conception of this whole thing, you almost have to pinch yourself once in a while and go, really, this is beginning to look like something that could be really special.
Yeah, I think we pinch ourselves in the sense of the timeline. I think we looked back ultimately when the tournament was officially announced in mid-2015 and ultimately put it together in about 11 months. I'm not certain we would have sat at that moment and said, hey, we would have one of the best PGA Tour Champions event on tour within 3 years. I think we all definitely would have said it would have taken a little bit longer. But that being said, we also built a team that is driven and it works hard, and we knew it took a teamwork together, but American Family provided resources for us to ultimately put together a great event. That have the ability to get feedback and mentorship from Steve and Nikki, and for them to share their insights that they've seen on tour over their career. was a huge advantage to us, and for us to take advantage of that and to ultimately put together this great event. So timeline, yeah, we definitely pinch ourselves and say, wow, it's pretty, it's impressive collectively what we've been able to do over the last 3 years. But at the same token, we're all driven people, and we knew we wanted to put together a great event. So we knew we'd get there at some point, and we're really proud to be at the place we are at today.
Couple of more, Nate, then we're going to let you go. But Dennis, I want to bring you in here. You just kind of sit back at times and you're kind of quiet, but yet in terms of this tournament, and you understand golf, you've been involved in it for many, many years. There's some things that I don't think people really, and not being negative about it, pay attention to or realize. For example, you talk about 4 different pro-ams. That's kind of an unusual type situation, morning and afternoon and that kind of thing. Overall, how do you see all of this?
Well, 4 different pro-ams is a lot. And for the players to play is a lot. I had a great experience. I played on Wednesday's pro-am. My partner was Davis Love. And to see how he interacted with the players, he fixed ball marks, made sure that the ball was cleaned on the green. He spent an inordinate amount of time with one of our players' sons who was playing in a tournament and standing there in the middle of the fairway and giving lessons and on and on. That's a big difference. I mean, I remember when I played in a tour, that's the way it was. And then since then, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit standoffish. Now, these people are, but then I turned right around and I was noting how gracious the volunteers were at each place. So much organized confusion, and how nobody was rushing you. Everybody was trying to help, even out on the course. And when we were walking past people, the smile, I thought that sent a lot about how people felt, and our customer, those watching and those working, really felt good about it. Great event.
Speaking of watching, Nate, I don't know the status of this. You guys were on delay this year on the Golf Channel. I don't know if you can go into this negotiation or whatever, but it was scheduled for 4 to 6. Obviously, the women's ran over, and you didn't get on until about 5:30. What happened in the negotiation of delaying it rather than doing it live? Is it simply that it fits into their lineup better, or can you share anything there? Because I had a couple of questions from people about that.
Yeah, as it comes with the Golf Channel, of course, first and foremost, the PGA Tour, they're going to they're going to work through that scheduling and their coverage plan first and foremost on that. And then from there, there's the balance out of PGA Tour Champions, Web.com, LPGA, and ultimately trying to coordinate the live scheduling and all their personnel. So, primarily we would love to be live. That is our desire. Those are our wishes. Unfortunately, this year, just based on their scheduling, we went to tape delay. But we've been given indication we'll be back to live format next year. So we recognize it's a lot of moving parts. They've got a lot of scheduling and aspects to work out. If we could dictate it 100%, of course we would want to be live. Unfortunately, just this year it didn't work out in that situation. But nonetheless, though, I have caught bits and pieces of it on replay. I haven't been able to sit down and watch this whole telecast over the 3 days, but I'll tell you, the event sure looked great on TV.
Nate, anything we missed that you'd like to pass on to the audience about the tournament?
I just reiterate how appreciative and gracious we are and humbled by how this community continues to rally around us, from the sponsors to the volunteers to the fans. Everybody it's amazing, and it's truly humbling to see everybody come together to support this. It is a team effort. That's the way how we can make this thing continue to grow, and everybody keeps raising their hands. So we were very much appreciative of it. We got a bright future ahead, and we look forward to everybody's continuing support.
And Dennis, speaking of support, I think you and I are in agreement. We'd like to thank Nate Pokrass and Jim Buheim, who gave us the opportunity to get involved with the Birdies to end Alzheimer's. And that was kind of neat that we're able to try and make a contribution. Wow. And those guys were involved in that.
It was great, selfishly speaking, because that's what we were looking for, too, a direction. And it provided a direction. And they stepped up to the plate and say, okay, go for it, And it worked out halfway decent. Maybe not as much as I thought it would be. But going forward, the participation or the involvement, the marketing of that's going to have to pick up a little bit on all ends. And now that people see it, now you know what the multiplier is. It's $899 or $900. Work out better, so people have a better idea of what we really did.
And thank you very much for that opportunity, Nate. And thank you for your time. Nice job on the tournament. Congratulations. Get that left-handed swing going and play a little golf. Take a little relaxer there.
We'll get them now.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. And to touch on Dennis's comment there, hey, just remember, it's year one. So when, as we talked about in our conversation, look back at 2016 to how the tournament is in 2019 or 2018. I bet you'll say the same thing here when we get to 2020 and how that Birdies program's coming together for you. That's going to come a long way in 3 years as well. So I thought it was a great start, a learning curve for all of us, but love the partnership on that. And you're correct. Now time to get back to the driving range, and maybe Dennis can help straighten me out a little bit.
See you next week, buddy.
I'll call it a baby fade. Maybe it's a little more of a slice in most of our minds, but Dennis can get me all straightened out here pretty soon.
But Nate, I gotta give you this piece of advice. If you come to Cherokee and there's another left-hander on the driving range when you want to hit, you gotta wait. It's only one at a time out here.
Well, my son was out there today hitting balls. I was a little clinic over this afternoon, and my boy was out there. So, but he's a right-hander, so he's allowed, and
he's good.
Hopefully we can find room for 2 lefties if there happens to be one out there as well.
Thanks, Nate. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate the time as always. Take care.
That's Nate Pokrass. That tournament's in pretty good hands with him. Don't you
he's
think?
very good.
Him and Jim and the staff.
Well, he is the main dude,
Yeah.
So they're all there, but Nate's the guy that, he's the motivator. He's the engine, but he does have great people around him. He's got great support, not only financially, but from people. But you can't say enough about 1,200 people, lining up to help in this deal.
Yeah, that's
really,
for sure.
really pretty good. What about this guy? Speaking of giving money, what about the kid with the bank?
Yeah, just one story on the contributions of people. The people from the Alzheimer's display was in the T area at the 15th, and so I was walking up the hill to go into the area where the Alzheimer's display was, and I heard my name mentioned as I was walking up the hill. I was right next to the area, and I turned around, and there's a young couple there. And they had a 5-year-old son with them. And they walked up to me, and the 5-year-old son handed me his piggy bank and said, "I want you to take this money and save my grandmother who's dying."
That's
And honestly, it caught me off guard. I was not sure how to react to the situation, but here's a youngster, 5 years old, offering his piggy bank money so his grandmother could be saved.
But then the rest of the story, what did you do?
I don't think we want to go into that on the air because of the outcome of it. And I think it's best.
Anyway, you got the money.
Yeah.
And then what? You gave it back.
We'll be back right after this time out on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
He dreams of playing in the big leagues, which is taking a toll on your dreams. Most people don't think about their home insurance until something happens. But talking to an American Family Insurance agent today can mean your dreams have better protection tomorrow. Visit amfam.com/home for a quote and see if your insurance measures up. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
Hi, this is Dave Gary, and it's open house time at the Princeton Clubs. Come see what our clubs are all about. Try a class or just relax in our pools. Visit any of our clubs for free during our open house going on now. With more locations, more amenities, and more free classes, there's never been a better time to be a member of the Princeton Clubs. I think you'll be surprised how much better you'll feel just after a few visits. Plus, with our express locations all over the Madison area, you'll never be more than a few minutes away from your next workout. As a member, you'll also have access to Cherokee Country Club's outdoor pool to make the most out of your summer. So come try the Princeton Clubs today. Get inspired and start feeling great again. We keep our clubs spotlessly clean, open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and with free childcare and no joining fees. And if you're ready to step up to the Princeton Clubs, we'll even buy out your current membership somewhere else. The Princeton Clubs, voted Madison's best health club year after year. Visit PrincetonClub.net for more details.
At Oak Park Place, they understand there are some loves that last a lifetime, like the love of the game, and they celebrate those things that make you uniquely you. Their community of friends, family, and caring staff provide support if you need it, while you enjoy your independence when you want it. Because they know that sharing memories of time well spent is just that, time well spent. Learn more about senior living at an Oak Park Place near you. Visit oakparkplace.com.
The University of Wisconsin Golf Course, University Ridge, has been voted Best of Madison and is the proud host site of the PGA Tour Champions American Family Championship. Our course, designed by the world-renowned Robert Trent Jones Jr., is yours to play without a costly membership. The award-winning golf shop at University Ridge offers high-end Badger apparel you won't find anywhere else. And when you're off the course, enjoy excellent food and drink with friends at the W Grill.
All right, he's ready.
Play where the Badgers play, University Ridge.
Right now, Cherokee Country Club is offering outstanding introductory golf memberships. You can join Cherokee as an individual member for $2,400. Depending on your age, you can get a family membership that starts at only $2,900. Check it out for yourself. What you're going to find is the best deal in Madison when it comes to joining a golf club. And by the way, your membership also allows you to use all of the facilities at the Princeton Club and the Madison Club. If you're a business owner, Cherokee offers a voucher golf program that allows you to purchase 20 rounds of golf, good for 18 holes with a golf cart, for only $1,000. What a great way to entertain your clients, customers, or employees. Cherokee also offers memberships for swimming and indoor and outdoor tennis. And the public is welcome to use the driving range, restaurant, banquet facilities, or book a wedding there. For more information, call 249-1000 or visit the website at CherokeeCountryClub.net. From Cherokee Country Club in Madison, along with Dennis Tiziano, a little earlier in the show, but I'm going to kind of repeat it. Sunday, I went from the press area, I walked down to the driving range, and I'm standing there, and I'm looking to my right, and I'm seeing Steve and Nikki, and go, yeah, that makes sense. Kind of look a little further down toward the left, and all of a sudden, I see you standing there with Fred Couples. And then I look to the left, and your dad is there, and he's giving a lesson to Scott Verplank. And I'm sitting there, and I kind of smile, and I go, what in the world is wrong with this picture? Had to be kind of a fun weekend for you, didn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was busy, but it's always a fun week. You know, I get to come home and actually spend some time there. I feel like I'm so in and out when I come home, and it was kind of nice to open my suitcase and know that I was going to be there for a few days and see everybody. But it's busy for everybody that week. It's not like we have this big agenda. It just seems like it's just busy. We're going in all directions, and trying to make it a good week for everybody. And I think we succeeded.
Tell me about caddying for Freddie Couples. That had to be kind of a fun thing. Anything unusual happen, or what are the highlights for you there?
Well, yeah, it kind of happened fast. It wasn't planned. I was with Steve down in Memphis, and he sent a text to Steve and said, "Hey, look, I'm planning on coming. I need a caddy." And he said, "What about your brother-in-law?" And so Steve said, "Do you want a caddy at the tournament?" And I said, "I really don't. I've got a lot going on." He said, "Well, Freddie needs somebody." And I'm like, "Man, if there's one guy I think I'd like to caddy for, that would be a guy." So I said, "You know what? I'll do it." And it was a blast. It was really different than caddying for Steve. Just they're really completely different players in terms of just what they need. You know, Steve's kind of a checker, and he has his own yardage book, and we kind of do everything together, and a lot of information. And I mean, Freddie didn't even grab a pin sheet. He just kind of goes to the tee and expected me to do everything. I read putts, and he just wants how far it is to the hole. So it was really interesting that way, and you kind of got to look into how he approaches the game, and that is pretty offensive. He really just wants to know how far to the flag, and I didn't see him really hit away from any flags, to be honest. And that's just the way he plays. It's very different than Steve, who's kind of a tactician, and so it was interesting to see just a different style of play, I guess, firsthand.
Did you kind of catch yourself looking up at the scoreboard to see how your buddy was doing?
I did, but I also found myself pulling for Fred a little bit, to be honest. I don't know why. Particularly when I saw that, Steve was probably going to come up short anyways.
Yeah.
And we had, I think we were on 14, I believe. And we kind of looked up there, and I think Steve was 12 or 13, and could tell it was going to have to be to 15 or so. So at that point, I was really kind of pushing for it. So it didn't happen, but it was a blast. It was fun.
We're chatting with Mario Tiziani, who is involved with Steve Stricker as his representative agent. I'm not exactly sure what the official title is. But before we talk a little bit about Steve, Mario, you're involved in golf. You've seen tournaments at many different places throughout the years. You're involved with the American Family Insurance Championship in a lot of ways. From your perspective, what makes this whole thing work?
I think the team, for sure. The people that are involved in it. I think nobody feels like they know it all, and everybody's kind of relying on everybody else to kind of do their job. It reminds me of a good football team. If everybody just does their role and their job, it's pretty tough to beat. And and I think Madison. I think Madison and Wisconsin. I think make it. I think we get it in terms of just how to support something and seeing when it's something special. No different than the Packers, the Brewers, the Badgers. We just have the ability to see when things are special and when you should get behind them. And I think, with the turnout, the people that showed up, you don't see that at Champions Tour events, really, even the majors. And to get the turnout and the people behind it and just the vibe that's created there, I think is second to none. It was impressive.
Mario, going to break it down into a couple of different categories here in terms of your working relationship with Steve. Phase one, what do you see as your role with him?
That's a great question. I think it's a never-ending role. But I think I said this before. The number one goal is to just let him go play golf. He does have obligations, so I think it'd be silly to try to take those all away. But let's try to prioritize and use your time wisely, and so that when he goes to the golf course, ultimately he's ready to go. So I think, in a nutshell, that's my role. I think that's what I try to do on a day-to-day basis. It's never the same. I mean, it's not selling widgets for sure. It changes every single day, and it could be, something from the foundation, the tournament, his playing schedule, media. I mean, it goes all the way down the line. So I guess I'm the gatekeeper and try to keep everything in order so that we can get to as much as we can without telling people no, but also not spreading him so thin that when he goes to his office that he's not ready to go.
You and the family would truly understand this. And talking about that very issue, sometimes I'm sure, in fact, years ago, I'd get some of the emails then, the requests of Steve before they officially went to you and that kind of thing. That's long gone. But You know, people will write in and say, I met you 20 years ago. Would you play 9 holes with my son? I've got 18 objects I want you to sign. I want you to come to this outing and those kind of things. And I don't mean it in a demeaning way. Is there any way to put into perspective for people how busy he could be if he potentially did all of the things he's asked to do?
Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't have time to do anything else, really. I mean, I would estimate the amount of requests I get to send signed memorabilia. I probably get 3 to 5 a day. The amount of times I get, requests for him to come and do an outing are at least 1 a day. So, if you do them all, he wouldn't be able to do anything else. And it's hard to say no. And I do my best. I certainly try to answer every single one of those. I don't discard them. But I do my best to try to tell them, frame it and put it in perspective and say, look, there just isn't enough time for him to do this. And, what else can we do? I try to do the best I can, but almost every single person understands. They really do. And it's a hard thing. And, just answer them and try to be as clear as I can and transparent. And, it is what it is, really.
And his life isn't going to get any easier in the next couple of years as you look ahead. He's only playing on 2 tours now. He's playing on the Champions Tour. He's playing on the regular tour. He's going to be an assistant captain of the President's Cup, Ryder Cup coming up the next couple of years. So his demands are going to get even greater, aren't they, in the future?
Yeah, they are. And I think they've kind of been that way for the last 2 or 3 years. So I don't think it's going to be real new to him. And we're doing a good job of managing it all, and we're having practice along the way. I mean, if he is Ryder Cup captain, that's going to turn the volume up for sure, but we'll get through it. I mean, he wants to play good golf, and, whatever that takes, we'll manage it and get the time aside to take care of the stuff he needs to. But as long as he's going to the golf course, that will be the primary focus.
Well, Mario, thank you very much for your time, and continued success to you guys and to you as you get more players. You got Kenny Perry. Who else you got on the circuit these days?
Wow. Yeah, we got a lot of young guys, a lot of web.com players. We got a kid named Ryan Blum who's starting to play real well on tour. He's had a couple top 15s and a top 7. So he's starting to play real well. Robert Streb, who's struggling this year, but he'll be fine. And then we just got a lot of young guys that are coming on strong. Young kid TJ Vogel, who's Monday qualified, I think 6 times this year, which is a record on the tour. So, he's coming along, but it takes time. Anybody will tell you their expectations are to make it happen right away. But the reality is it takes time to learn how to kind of manage this whole life of professional golf.
Any truth that the next superstar you got's a left-hander?
No.
Well,
no.
I don't know. Maybe.
Thanks, Mario.
He's a politician. You see that? Maybe.
I love it.
Thanks, Mario. Appreciate
you. Got
it.
Take care.
See ya.
That's Mario Tiziati. You got to be proud of where he's going in the golf world. We're going to hear Steve Stricker's comments from his press conference here in just a minute as they get it ready. But Mario's doing a wonderful thing in golf, isn't he? He's really
he is, and he's still a very good player. I made the choice, like so many people did. If I kept going the way I was going, my family would have to suffer. And his 2 young daughters spends the time. He's the motivator there. So he chose, staying home with his kids. He's got this job going, and but really, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he wouldn't show up in a few years on some of those senior tours.
Actually, we're going to take the break first as I look at our format here. We'll have Steve Stricker's comments right after this timeout on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
In today's world, we're more plugged in than ever, and we don't think twice when we flip the switch to turn on the lights or boot up our computers. We count on the stable, reliable transmission of electricity. And that's what American Transmission Company is all about. We don't generate electricity, but our grid helps energize your everyday life. We're the vital link between power production and the people who count on it. American Transmission Company, helping to keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong.
At Oak Park Place, they understand there are some loves that last a lifetime, like the love of the game, and they celebrate those things that make you uniquely you. Their community of friends, family, and caring staff provide support if you need it, while you enjoy your independence when you want it. Because they know that sharing memories of time well spent is just that, time well spent. Learn more about senior living at an Oak Park Place near you. Visit oakparkplace.com.
The University of Wisconsin Golf Course, University Ridge, has been voted Best of Madison and is the proud host site of the PGA Tour Champions American Family Championship. Our course, designed by the world-renowned Robert Trent Jones Jr., is yours to play without a costly membership. The award-winning golf shop at University Ridge offers high-end Badger apparel you won't find anywhere else. And when you're off the course, enjoy excellent food and drink with friends at the W Grill. Play where the Badgers play, University Ridge.
It'll be about dreams 48. Of playing in the big leagues, which is taking a toll on your dreams. Most people don't think about their home insurance until something happens. But talk.
And you've got one more spot set after this.
If your insurance measures up, American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
The mighty Blue Marlin.
Yeah, pretty much 48
for
even.
2 solid hours. He jumps again. He's almost at the side of the boat. It's the moment of truth. Because there's never been a better time to test drive the 2018 Mercedes-Benz GLC. With a smooth 9-speed transmission, it loves to run. Set course for your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. Visit mbusa.com/GLC to learn more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Wisconsin. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
30.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Wisconsin so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
We're back on Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network from Cherokee Country Club. Dennis Tiziati and Paul Brown. And yesterday, after completing his round, Steve Stricker held a press conference, and here's a recap of that.
Yeah, it was, we had 2 great days of weather. We had a lot of fans come out to enjoy the tournament. It was the way to end up the tournament, and personally played a good round today. Got too far behind with that round that I shot yesterday, and that really put a damper on my weekend, that round yesterday. But the way it ended up, you couldn't ask for anything more. Great turnout of people. The players loved it, and we got a great field and some exciting golf down the stretch.
Did you watch the leaderboard, and what did you think when McCarron climbed up to the top?
Yeah, when we were coming in, I told Nikki, I'm like, we got to try to get to 15. That was a number in my head as we were somewhere, in that 12, 13, 14 hole mark. And I saw that these guys are behind me, so I knew they had the same holes, to try to birdie as I did. So I just thought that I needed to get to that number, and just came up a little bit short. Had the opportunities, I just didn't make those putts that I need to coming in.
What was it about those putts down the stretch that were, confusing, or that they you didn't get the read right?
A couple of them I didn't get the read right, and a couple of them I hit poor putts. I pulled the putt at 14, hit a good putt at 15, and it never broke. 17, I don't know why I didn't think that was going to go to the right. The whole back of that green slopes away, and I was playing it fairly straight, and I don't even know what I was thinking there. 18, I actually hit a good putt. Thought it was going to move to the right, and it never really moved to the right. So a little frustrating on those putts coming in, but hit the ball way better and gave myself the opportunities today.
You had, as a host, you got some great names up at the top, including yourself and Jerry. And it's a pretty cool tournament this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, very cool. I mean, this may be one of the best fields all year out here on the Champions Tour. So we're very fortunate. The word is out that we're doing some good things here, and obviously we're raising these monies for charities, and but to get the support from the community and the players alike. If we don't have the players come, no one else is going to come out. So to have Freddie play well again, and Bernhard was up there, Colin Montgomery up there, Jerry and Scott McCarron. I mean, guys that have been playing great all year. We're there at the top. So it's cool to see, and it's exciting for everybody to stick around and see that excitement.
Scott McCarron is a good champion.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He still plays very well. He's won a lot out here on the Champions Tour. So it's a good guy to have win. And it just, like I said, there was a bunch of different storylines today that could have happened. So that's what makes it exciting for a day like today.
What do you think? Those are the comments of Steve Stricker, and Tiz, overall, he probably should take a break right now when you've been playing.
That's 8 out of 10 weeks or whatever that he's been doing it. So he needs that. You need to do that. You can't keep hitting balls and pounding the ground week after week after week, and something gives up. So his best bet is to back away, relax. I don't know whenever. I think he could have played with an 8-iron and shot better than 2 over in the second round. But next year, no more REO Speedwagon. We're going to.
Good luck with that one.
We're going to forget about that.
Good luck with that one.
You'll be surprised what's going to happen. I kind of know an inside a little bit, and you'll be very surprised at what's going to happen going forward. So
that's not fair. Come on.
No, I'm not.
You're leaving everybody up.
I can't do that.
I know it. I'm giving you a bad time. I'm giving you a bad time.
It's like going to confession. You gotta be still.
If you'd only tell what you know about everything, it'd be a heck of a lot more interesting show, because we'd have lots of scoops.
If I could do it with my creative resource, the no filter, we could get a lot of things done.
I've got one for you, though. Okay. One side note. Number one is Daly.
Yeah,
he was denied a golf cart. So he pulled out of the U.S. Senior Open. They said he didn't meet the criteria in terms of a medical explanation.
Well, he can't even move on his leg. He almost fell over on 17.
Do you see that?
Yeah. Plus, he's he's a little bit out of shape. He needs a wheelbarrow to carry that thing around a little bit. So they should be in it, because I'll tell you what, he's a good player. He's a great player.
He had 8 birdies.
He's 2-time major champion. And when you watch him from a instructor standpoint, you watch his putting stroke in his short game. You want to see something that's really good.
And I think you'll endorse what Bryson DeChambeau is going to do here. He's into the science and the craft of the play. Well, he took things to an extreme this week. He used a compass, and he was looking at the yardage book during the 3rd round. And he said he was checking the pin locations. They're just a bit off every once in a while, and I'm just making sure they're in the exact right spot. And
well, you know why we use a compass? So we can find our way out of the woods. So maybe, just maybe, he's using a compass to find his way around. He's a good player, however, big boy, strong boy. He's into the psych, and he's a winner. He's a tour winner. So
But you're not in favor of them having compasses now.
What is that?
We'll be back after this timeout on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
Hi, this is Dave Gary, and it's open house time at the Princeton Clubs. Come see what our clubs are all about. Try a class or just relax in our pools. Visit any of our clubs for free during our open house going on
Dave.
now with more locations, more.
Dave, what time are you guys out? Dave? Okay, are they actually out at 6? Okay.
Flip on the lights. With the push of a button, TVs, radios, coffee makers, and computers come alive in our homes. Automation and technology are keeping local businesses running and the economy growing. You don't think twice about all that powers our everyday life. We count on the stable, reliable transmission of electricity. And that's what American Transmission Company is all about. American Transmission Company, helping to keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong.
He dreams of playing in the big leagues, which is taking a toll on your dreams. Most people don't think about their home insurance until something happens. But talking to an American Family Insurance agent today can mean your dreams have better protection tomorrow. Visit amfam.com/home for a quote and see if your insurance measures up. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
Right now, Cherokee Country Club is offering outstanding introductory golf memberships. You can join Cherokee as an individual member for $2,400. Depending on your age, you can get a family membership that starts at only $2,900. Check it out for yourself. What you're going to find is the best deal in Madison when it comes to joining a golf club. And by the way, your membership also allows you to use all of the facilities at the Princeton Club and the Madison Club. If you're a business owner, Cherokee offers a voucher golf program that allows you to purchase 20 rounds of golf, good for 18 holes with a golf cart for only $1,000. What a great way to entertain your clients, customers, or employees. Cherokee also offers memberships for swimming and
get out at 6:57:46.
Call 249-1000
Oh, you're right. That's
or
a billboard.
visit the
My bad. Yeah,
website
1 minute.
at CherokeeCountryClub.net.
The American Family Championship features golf's living legends competing right here in Wisconsin. Take advantage of the Wild Rock American Family Championship package, which includes 18 holes with GPS cart at Wild Rock, with lunch and a Wild Rock hat, plus a ticket to the championship in Madison this June. Call or check out our website for availability.
10 seconds here.
608-253-4653 or wildrockgolf.com. That's wildrockgolf.com.
I want to talk.
Back on Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network. You got about 20 seconds.
I got about. We passed over Mike Gaspard and his crew there. You know, I was able to be upstairs. They were the players and the big shots go. You know, and his group was fantastic.
Oh,
And
you mean where you were sitting?
Yeah, but I was in the clubhouse too. You know, I was there seeing all the big shots. Right, but he did a great job. His staff and everybody behind that counter, pretty good. Food was awesome inside of that building.
Okay, and we just did get word from the Alzheimer's site is still going to be up, and you can make a general pledge for $1 amount, not totally based on birdies. There was 900 birdies. If you want to give a dime a birdie, that'd be $90. You want to give $1, it'd be 900. The site is still up, and it's going to be up for a while. So that's it for tonight, along with Dennis Tiziani, our crew. Lexi Graytech is here, David McCann,
Beautiful.
Kevin Ryan, I'm Paul Brown, and that's another round of Talking Golf, the Golf Effect Radio Network, and a week from now, we'll be back and do it again right here, but so long for now from Madison.
Thank you for tuning in to Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Network.